Hi, and welcome to the Business Pioneer Podcast. I'm your host, Erika Montgomery, founder and CEO of Three Girls Media Inc., an award winning digital marketing agency. Today, I am so excited to be joined by Bobby Williams, who's the executive director of the Bridge Music Project. Bobby is a rapper and he is a passionate advocate for youth empowerment through music, which I love because my husband is a musician. And after witnessing firsthand how songwriting helped young people process their experiences, he founded the Bridge Music Project, which is a nonprofit organization that teaches youth how to write, record, and perform their original music. He does that through workshops that are held in schools, through music venues, and even youth prisons. Bobby and his team help young artists find their voices and turn their stories into powerful songs. I am excited to dive into Bobby's journey from his early days in music to building a nonprofit that changes lives through creativity and self expression. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you for that great introduction.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about the Bridge Music Project and how you got started.
So you covered a lot of kind of our main bullet points that we get into. The origins of the organization are that I've been performing and making music since I was a kid. Like for me, it was always the one thing I really got into, and it gave me so many great things through doing music. It gave me a sense of community, a sense of purpose, and so many different powerful things. And so after college, I started working with youth in foster care and just sharing a little bit of my passion for music with them. And these were kids who had bounced between several different foster placements. And I was kind of on a driving them to dentist appointment level. And so during some of the time I had with them, I just was like, here's how you make a beat, here's how you put lyrics to it. And what I found was these youth were taking it as a chance to process their experience and understand themselves better. And that was the foundation or the origin of the idea that music and songwriting could be this healing thing that could help a lot of youth.
That's amazing. Now, do you still primarily work with youth that's been in foster care, or tell me about the breadth of youth that you serve?
So we work with a lot of different youth from a lot of different communities. We do community programs where anyone can participate, but we do targeted outreach to make sure that we're including the youth that we want to reach the most youth in foster care, youth who've experienced incarceration or homelessness. We do workshops, like you mentioned, at youth prisons or secure facilities. And there, we're working with incarcerated youth. And then we also work in schools or at some of the local middle schools as well.
Now, youth covers a lot of different ages, from obviously very young to teens. What age range do you primarily serve?
We work with middle schoolers, we work with teenagers, and we work with young adults up to age 24.
Okay, so young adults as well, which is amazing.
Mhm.
And tell me about your background in music.
So, as I mentioned, music has been my main passion in life. I started writing songs when I was 11, and I lived in a community where there was a very strong music scene. So there were always concerts happening, and I'm from South Bend, Indiana. And so in high school, I, was like printing t-shirts and doing shows all around the region and just performing, doing my thing, rapping. And then as I got older, I had the opportunity to tour, to work with a lot of great artists. I made music videos and just very much pursued music heavily. And I'm working on a new project right now.
Oh, are you? Tell me about the
Mhm.
new project.
So it's just I'm working on a new album with every album is kind of its own little season of where's your head at during that time. And so this project is just kind of what do I have to say now at age 37, and I'm just very excited about it. It feels good to be back in the recording studio again with my producer, Smoke M2D6, and I'm just real pumped on some of the music we're creating.
Exciting. Now, it sounds like your background is primarily rap. Is that what you teach the youth, or do you teach multiple music genres?
It's all styles. So we do whatever a youth is interested in creating. And we have a lot of different teaching artists with different specialties. So, like if it's a group that wants to rap, we might put a teaching artist that's a rapper. If it's more of a band oriented group, we'll get a teaching artist that understands that better. So it's all styles. We're there to just help youth actualize their ideas and bring it to life. So, whatever that is, we're down to help.
Nice. My husband, being a musician, he just released his 100th album last year. So he's very much a prolific artist, and he's kind of a one man band. He plays all his own instruments and then mixes everything down and writes his own lyrics and sings and produces everything. And I know how much work it is. And so these youth that you've got participating in the program, I'm sure learn so many wonderful skills besides music itself. It has to impact other areas of their lives. Is that what you find?
Definitely true. Yeah. It's so much happens through the process of we have youth collaborate on music, they record and they perform. So they're able to learn better communication skills, they're building their self-confidence, they're building leadership skills. There's so many different qualities that are coming through it all.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned performing. Do your youth with the Bridge Project ever put on concerts where the local community can come and see them perform?
Yes. So we are about to start a community songwriting workshop, which is on March 3rd. So if you know any youth, we're taking applications now. Just go to bridgemusicproject.org. And in this 8-week program, we close out with a big final concert, which will be at the Capitol Theater. And we do it up. We get the stage lights, we get the fog, the haze going. Everyone has worked really hard to get their material ready and worked on their presence and everything else. And so that will be our next big community show, which will be about 2 months after March 3rd.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. Are there tickets available for that people need to purchase? And if so, where can people get those?
So it's a non ticketed event, but we accept donations at the door. And if you follow our social media, we post when we have concerts and things coming up. So just at Bridge Music Project on Facebook and Instagram. And so we get the show poster up there well in advance.
Fantastic. And I usually wait until the end of the podcast before I ask you to tell us where we can find you online. But it seems perfect to mention that again right now. So you mentioned Facebook and Instagram, and they could just search for the Bridge Project.
The Bridge Music Project.
Music Project. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. And what about your website? What's your website address?
It's bridgemusicproject.org.
Excellent. And you are a nonprofit organization. So how are you primarily funded?
So we have different funding sources. We'll get contracts for some of the programs that we do. We do a lot of grant writing, as I'm sure you do too.
Mhm.
And so lots of grants and then some individual donations too.
Nice. And so, if somebody wanted to support the youth in your organization, maybe they're a music lover or wanted to help local kids, I'm sure you're always accepting donations. And is it easy to donate through your website?
Yes, it is. So I think now I got to check my website and make sure I'm telling you the right things here. But if you go to bridgemusicproject.org and then you click on donate. Yeah, simple as that. Click on donate and there's a form and you can donate to the organization. If it's a larger gift, feel free to get in touch with me directly and sometimes a check will work better so we don't have to pay a processing fee.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And what would you say has changed really since the inception of the Bridge Music Project? What's new now that maybe is different than when you first began?
Well, so we began as a small project, just working with, a few youth. I'd say we're doing a lot more styles of music. We're in a lot more places doing the work. And I mean, that's a lot of it. It's just our reach has really expanded. And so
Mm.
we've also built our team up to include a lot of great teaching artists. So it's still the same kind of core fundamental ideas, but we've just been able to run with it and do more. We also have more offshoot programs. Like we've done projects where we're teaching the more technical side of music through audio engineering classes or beat making classes. And, we've made music videos and different things.
That's cool. Tell me about the geographic area that you serve.
So we are from Grays Harbor all the way up to King County, Snoqualmie area. And so, yeah, we do a community program in Grays Harbor. Olympia is definitely our home base. So we do middle school programs, our community workshops, and a bunch of miscellaneous programs. And then we're at Echo Glen, another secure facility out in Snoqualmie. So I have a team out there right now doing a program.
Wow, so you serve a large area. And then how far south do you go? Do you go to Lewis County at all?
No, we haven't done anything there yet.
Okay, just curious. But
Mhm.
it sounds like you serve a really, really wide geographic area, which is amazing because there are so many kids, I'm sure, that would love to participate in this. And tell me what some of the biggest challenges are right now facing the Bridge Music Project.
Oh, I think we're always nervous about where, when you're a nonprofit and especially, a smaller size one like we are, you're always worried about like, okay, we got to get the next grant. We got to keep the funding coming. And right now we're in a place where there's a lot of uncertainty on what's going to happen with budgets. And so that trickles down to us to, you know, where we're like, okay, we'll see how things pan out. But we're also solid too, like we're not going away, but we want to do more, not less.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I can appreciate that for sure. And what would you say are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned as a business owner?
Hmm. Well, this all started as just a real DIY thing. Like I was working with youth in foster care and just did it on for fun as part of my work. And then it's grown to this whole business. And I think I've learned a lot about grant writing. Like that's something I didn't expect myself to be like, oh, you're this good grant writer. And it's like, oh, I became one and I didn't foresee that. Um, yeah, I mean, I've just learned so much through the years of doing this and making contacts and getting to know different people, and it's I'm trying to give you more specifics here. I've just learned how to manage the whole thing. It's no one really told me how to do a lot of this stuff, and so it's just through trial and error, and sometimes you make mistakes and you learn from those, and sometimes we're really on the game. I think the hardest thing is just always to keep doing it. Like when you're, no one's like looking over my shoulder every day to see what I'm doing, so I have to make myself do it. And it's a balance of like, okay, I need to make myself do all these deliverables, and I need to be like a good boss to myself and not totally get burnt out on everything. And so be like, a good boss to myself and find that balance. And I think for a long time, it's just been like, go, 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 go. And now I'm trying to also, you know, make some of my own music and do different things to make sure I'm still staying engaged.
Yeah, taking care of yourself, I think, as an entrepreneur is something that's so important and something that we so easily forget because we're always putting our business first. At least most entrepreneurs I know are.
Mhm.
It's all about keeping the business going, whether you're a nonprofit or for profit, and there's always so much to do. But self care and finding time to rejuvenate you, whether that's through music or any of your other hobbies, I think is really, really good advice. So let's talk marketing. How do you go about marketing the Bridge Music Project?
So, if we're doing something like, say, we're recruiting youth, we do a lot of presentations to different groups where youth are. We reach out to previous youth who then, sign up again or tell their friends. And then we also have our community contacts who we've known for a long time where we'll do presentations and be like, hey, we're coming back with our next thing. And so we've built up like a lot of goodwill with all these different people over the years. And then for the organization itself, we're keeping active on social media and just trying to keep everyone up to date with what we're doing. I think sometimes it's a challenge, especially with the secure facilities, the prisons, in that they don't want us just coming in and taking a lot of pictures of everyone all the time.
Oh, sure.
So, we're telling that story verbally and occasionally through video or something, but
Mhm.
that's where a good chunk of our efforts are going. And so that's something we're working on to tell that story more.
Awesome. Yeah, I certainly understand the picture scenario, not only in the secure facilities, but also when you're dealing with kids in general, right? It can be a sensitive issue to put pictures of kids online. So I can appreciate that. But certainly sharing them of your instructors or people who are teaching the kids, I think is a wonderful way to get your story across for sure.
Yeah. And we have, everyone signs media releases for our community program. So we have a lot of great pictures, and we've had a lot of amazing photographers work with us over the years. And I'll go ahead and say this on the show. This is a gift that's going out to some of our supporters. But if you're interested on Amazon, we just made a photography book cataloging our last 10 years and some of the special moments in that. So if you look up the bridge photos 2014 to 2024, um, you'll find our picture book up there.
Oh, that's really exciting. I'm going to have to buy a copy. That's great that you put it all in pictures. Amazing. Good for you. Great
Totally.
idea. Yeah. So, tell me about what you like to do when you're not working, Bobby. How do you chill out and relax?
Well, the music making, obviously, I'm really into pinball and playing in tournaments and stuff. So that's
Oh,
a fun
fun.
thing for me. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know there were pinball tournaments. That sounds like a blast.
hmm Yeah. No, there definitely are. And there's some cool places around town to play.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that sounds like a great time.
Uh,
So
I'll say my other thing is I hang out with my dog, Oakley, and I'll see if I can get a shot of her real quick so you can see her.
okay, yeah, I'd love to see Oakley.
She's right there.
Oh, hi, Oakley. What a cutie. How
Yeah.
old is Oakley?
Oakley's about 3.5 years old. Trying to get her in better focus here, but um yeah. So, and I've had her for about 7 months.
Oh, she's a cutie pie.
Yeah, she's my little coworker back here.
Love that. I have one of those too. Her name is Phoebe, and she's our company mascot at Three Girls Media. She's on our website and she's got her own Instagram account where she gives marketing advice. So,
Nice.
she's definitely a big part of our brand. Well,
Very cool.
Bobby, any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share for your fellow entrepreneurs out there?
Oh, for the fellow entrepreneurs, I'd say you just got to kind of dive in and start doing what you're trying to do. Like, just learning through experiences, not to say you can't take a class and learn things different ways, but if you're just waiting for it to be easy, it's not going to be like. I think what's made this business successful is our ability to like pivot or work through challenging things or kind of think on our toes. So you have to have that attitude of like, okay, I'm going to figure it out, or there's so many roadblocks and problems. And so you have to just always be working around those to make things happen.
Yeah, I have certainly found that to be true. I have been in business now, it'll be 20 years in June, and I still come up across problems every day.
Mhm.
And it's all about how you figure your way through them, come up with creative solutions, and be able to move forward that really makes a difference, I think, for a long-standing business. So that's great advice.
Totally, and congrats on 20 years.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think with the problems, it's like the younger me would get more frustrated about things, and now that I've done this as long as I have, it's just kinda like, "Okay, that's happening again, and we'll figure it out." But I feel like I've learned to be more patient, which is nice.
Yeah. I think patience definitely comes with age and experience a lot of the time. And it's definitely something that is key, I think, to being an entrepreneur. You've got to have infinite patience because there are roadblock after roadblock after roadblock thrown in your way for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So tell our viewers one last time where they can find the Bridge Music Project online.
So you can go to bridgemusicproject.org. Instagram and Facebook, it's just Bridge Music Project. Keep in touch with what we're doing. Check our socials, and you can support through donations, through your time. If you have some kind of special talent, say you're a photographer that wants to help us get more media, or you're a graphic designer or something. If you have some special talents, you can bring them our way too. And just thank you so much.
Amazing. Bobby Williams with the Bridge Music Project. Thank you so much for being a guest on today's show. I really appreciate it and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me.